We bought remote land cheap because nobody else could get to it but us. This is the start of our base camp series where we'll bring in power, shelter, and signal one trip at a time. We're also going to start showing you how we bought cheap land so you can too. Today I'm alone hauling in the first sections of a 35-foot antenna tower to start off our off-grid communications hub. Becca helped pick out the gear, test waders, and field test some questionable boot traction. Turns out not everything we packed was field tested. Also, the bugs remember me from last time. We found this land in a tax sale. It's not easy ground, but that's the reason we could afford it. We're not building a dream all at once. We're building access, infrastructure, a place to begin. If you're going to do this, it's just good to save money. And so if you have somewhere, so boondocking, you can, crash in your trailer, then you save a lot of money on hotel while you're getting your first foothold, on the land. So I'm here at the mini storage to start getting set up. The plan for today, it's going to rain. So when it's raining, I typically use that time to be on the canoe and heading up river on the land, moving stuff. So that's the plan for today. Starting to get some of the antenna tower brought up the land, and as well as just a bunch of the supplies. And I'm gonna drop it on the front doorstep of the land there. And then tomorrow is supposed to be nicer weather, so I'm gonna work on getting the ATV on the land tomorrow, and that way I can move the stuff with the ATV trailer from the river to the clearing. So gonna be a busy day, a lot of lifting. Any day with the canoe is a little bit back breaking because you got to put the canoe on the van and take it down. So nothing says off-grid like strapping a radio tower to a canoe. I call it river freight. No forklift, no problem. Some folks bring snacks, I bring infrastructure. A bit front heavy, but hey, it floats. So yeah, here's the kind of heading down the river, the full load, the antenna towers, and yeah, I'm just gonna keep it slow and head up, because we're pretty heavy. We've got a lot of batteries and water and steel, so anyways, it's gonna be a nice trip though. Just gently relaxing up the river. So we'll see you at the other end. What is it? There you go. We got Becca some hip waders, a helmet, and a 2-up seat. Figured she ought to feel what she signed up for before we take her up north. Give her a proper shakedown ride. Mud, bugs, bounce, the whole works. Better learn it with a laugh than with a regret.
You're alright, you're alright. You're fine.
She took a drop in the river, but that's what hip waders are for. Better to laugh now than curse later. Okay, let's get back to the river. Yeah, so heading up with a second load, and keeping my eyes peeled on the river for logs. I only run about half throttle. Because if the prop strikes a log at full throttle, it tends to shear the shear pin. I only have one left, so I don't want to get stuck. Anyways, The boat's pretty heavy. We'll do one more load today. And bring it up. We never say one more load because nasty stuff could happen. We could get it there and we never go up there again. So we say like one more load today. And, yeah, dump this stuff off. It's the well and the tower, almost the rest of the tower, and some of the post digging supplies. So yeah, getting a lot of it up now, which is great to start having it on the land. So yeah, up the river. Let's see if we can sneak up on it. There's a crane there on the side of the river, and what he likes to do is he doesn't want to move too far, so you can see him walking there straight out in front, right in front of the boat. It's probably hard to see, but when he gets up, he's trotting through the water. He doesn't like company, so he's gonna fly away as soon as I get a little bit too close to him. There he is on the side there. And he'll just go like just a little bit farther up the river. He could just go backwards, but he doesn't. So here he is. There he goes. Yeah, beautiful. These majestic creatures are just like dinosaurs. He'll just go over to the other side there now. And yeah, he's gonna hang out there until I get a little bit farther, and then he'll do it again. I thought maybe if I quieted the engine down. No, there he goes again. There he is, right there. There he goes. Woo! Beautiful. So, yeah, unloaded the boat. Got the stuff up on the shore. So it's gonna take some last little bit. Tie the boat. I'll take a walk onto the land and see if I'll see what there is to see, I guess. Okay, let's talk about this for a bit. Buying land. So my recommendation for buying land, to do it the way that we did it, which was tax sale. Now, tax sale, for those of you who aren't familiar with it, is basically, for various reasons, somebody stopped paying taxes on their land. And then the municipality, township, county, whatever it is in your area, will spend a bunch of time and effort trying to get a hold of the people who are not paying the taxes on their land. And that costs money on behalf of the township. And eventually, after a couple years of not paying taxes, and it depends on where you are, the municipality is empowered by the government to sell the land to cover the expenses that were incurred and the back taxes. So essentially, you can get land very cheap. Now, it's often done through a bidding process or an auction. Where we are, it's a bidding process, and I'll get into more details on how to do that in a later video, because obviously you want to put in a good bid to get land very cheap. But I will say that there are some people that end up being the only bidder on land, and they get the land extremely cheap. They just put the lowest bid on that's possible, and they get the land cheap. So what is the lowest bid? The lowest bid is determined by the municipality selling the land to cover their costs, and they're allowed to have that minimum bid. And then anything over that, they also get to keep. So there's a bunch of caveats, and again, I'm going to go through the caveats and what you have to be careful when you're getting land that way. But if you do some research and you look into it, it's a really great way of getting lots of land very cheap. In a later video, I'm going to talk about the ins and the outs of it and how you should do it, and because I come up with a system that worked really well for us, and I'm going to share that system, and I'm going to just add it into videos as I go along, so I don't have big videos consumed by that, because it's not what I want the channel to be about. But there's a lot of interest, so I'm gonna go through it. But if you can't wait, for the future videos to, because you're really gung-ho to get to do this, then what I would say is start investigating tax sales in your province, in your state, and how are things done, because getting that information, it's not a well-known thing. And the reason why I got into it was because when I was a young man, I had a good friend who bought 100 acres very close, like in cottage country where land is now very expensive, and he got it for $8,000. And he talked to me about it, and it was always something that I thought, I'm going to do that one day, and now I've done it. So yeah, so let's talk about some of the reasons why people might not pay tax on land. One of the reasons, obviously, is that maybe they just moved and they didn't update their mailing address. That's a possibility. There's all these different stories of why it happens. Sometimes there's somebody passes away and the municipality can't get a hold of next of kin. Sometimes people just abandon land on purpose, and why would that be? Well, there's a couple reasons, and it's good to be careful, because if somebody abandons land, there could be one of a couple reasons why they do that. For instance, you never want to do a tax sale on a commercial property at the corner of two streets, and the reason why that is, very likely it was a gas station, and there's going to be a giant cleanup bill because gas leaked into the ground, and those people found it was better just to stop paying taxes on the land and let the municipality take it. If you buy that land, it becomes your responsibility to clean it up. Or you lose, or you just do the same thing, is not pay the tax on it. So it's kind of buyer beware. You have to kind of do your research. Up here in Northern Ontario, some logging companies will actually buy tax sale land. They come in and they log it, and then they just stop paying the taxes on it, because that's the easiest thing to do. They got the money off the land, and yeah, so that's not too cool. And obviously that's not the kind of land you want to buy, like stripped of all the fir trees, but it is one of the reasons why people don't pay the taxes on it. Some of the properties we bid on in the past, I could see that the current owner had passed away, and in the obituary, it didn't talk about his ex-wife who was on the title, but like it was clear from the obituary he was no longer married. And so yeah, there's many reasons why the property could end up not being paid for. So there's a lot of people that make a lot of money buying tax sale property and then selling it. If you go onto any of those websites where they have they show off-grid properties, if you get into tax sale, you'll see that those are the people that tend to buy those properties. So they buy it tax sale for cheap, and then they go around and they turn around and they'll sell it for $100,000 or something. So essentially what you're doing is you're beating them to the punch. One of the things happened to me a few years ago. I looked at some property that was just on a classified website, and they gave the roll number, and I googled the roll number, and it came up that it was a tax sale listing, and you could go in and see how much it was paid for, and I think they paid 10 cents on the dollar for what they were gonna sell it for. So essentially, yeah, like, tax sale is the way to go, in my opinion. Do your research, do some homework, and I'm gonna talk about more of that stuff in future videos. How to, price out, like, what's your bid gonna be? Because if you successfully bid on it, it's your land, and you don't want to find out that you paid way too much for the land than what it was worth. And as a buddy said, well, that's the whole real estate game, and I agree. So this is the front entrance staging area. We've got some water, the antenna tower, well pipe, well point, get the well pump in these bins here, their hardware and stuff. So some digging supplies, an axe. So tomorrow, hopefully get the ATV on the land, and I can move this to the clearing where I can start working, because carrying it all would be backbreaking. So let's go back, jump in the boat. Well, hopefully those wasps, party's over. Right here's the worst. Like I said, for walking, the ATV's got no problem. It'll just run right through all this, as you can see, but creates a massive tripping hazard. Just got stung by a wasp, so that's not good. Yeah, there's a wasp already. I can feel it. It's starting to swell. I don't know why. Usually they give you notice. They buzz around. Not always though. Now, I hate doing this, but a wasp nest in the middle of a trail, that ain't a home, that's an ambush. I gave them a chance last time. They gave me a welt the size of a toonie. This time I brought spray instead of apologies. Call it preemptive negotiation. Last time I came here, I got stung and I didn't know why. This looks like an old rotting tree root that I didn't cut down, but it's in the middle of the path. And, I was just going about my business and, like, getting stung by a wasp. I better get out of here. They're gonna come after me. Oh, the bastards. Stay tuned for the next episodes where we ride in by bike, hike out on foot, and in between lay the first pieces of something big. An office in the bush with Starlink beaming down, signal bouncing off the tower we built by hand, no concrete, just stubbornness and steel. We test it with our own lives, climbing 35 feet into the boreal sky. We run an electric fence to keep the bears off our gear, build a shelter to keep the weather off us, and raise a wind turbine to power it all. We camp in the thick of it, sleep where the bears walk, even rig away to take a shower under the trees. Starting this season, we launched Tech Tuesdays, sharing the gizmos and gear that we make for off-grid living. And we'll also be doing impromptu 360 live streams so you can hang out with us in real time. If you subscribe, YouTube will let you know when we go live. You don't need a headset, but if you've got one, you can stand right here with us. Subscribe if you want to be a part of it. We're building it raw, building it real, and we'd rather not do it alone.